It's Some time! What if we could make it rain anytime?
Wow! That would be super cool!
Oh, some. Firstly, if we could make it rain anytime, some people may accidentally ruin their candlelight dinners. Secondly, if we could make it rain anytime, our family members may keep themselves ready for this kind of a situation. Thirdly, some people love to watch the sunset. If we could make it rain anytime, these people will not be happy about this. Lastly, if we could make it rain anytime, some people may now start taking bath anywhere and anytime.
What if rain disappeared?
No problem. Just like I water my plants, I will water the world.
Wow, some. Firstly, after the sweltering heat of summer, plants, animals, as well as humans are eagerly waiting for those precious drops of water to fall from sky. If rain disappeared, everybody will be mightily disappointed. Secondly, if rain disappeared, human beings will have to set up huge desalination plants to convert seawater to drinking water. Thirdly, water will become more expensive than gold. Wars may be fought over it. Fourthly, if rain disappeared, we will really miss those beautiful rainbows. Fifthly, if rain disappeared, we may only be able to dream about swimming tanks and long showers. Lastly, if rain disappeared, freshwater sources like rivers, lakes, and even dams will start drying up. Fertile lands will turn into deserts. Crop production will go down. Eventually, even human beings will go extinct.
What if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared?
No problem. Nothing will happen to Some the Great.
Oh, some. Firstly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, we may start hearing sneezes all around. Many people may come down with a cold. Secondly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, it may become almost impossible to venture out during torrential rain or snowstorms. Thirdly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, may it be children going to schools or adults going to workplaces, number of sick leaves taken will shoot up exponentially. Fourthly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, people may start carrying an extra pair of clothes just in case it rains or snows. Fifthly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, during rainy season we may be left with no option but to work from home. Lastly, if umbrellas and raincoats disappeared, people may come up with innovative solutions to dodge rain and snow. What if it rained elephants?
You are joking, right?
Oh, some. Firstly, if it rained elephants, our homes will definitely not survive this kind of rain. Secondly, if it rained elephants, raining will now feel like an earthquake. Thirdly, if it rained elephants, we may now start seeing more elephants on streets as compared to humans. Fourthly, if it rained elephants, we may start seeing huge craters everywhere. Lastly, if it rained elephants, our cars will not survive this. We may now have to start riding an elephant.
How can some people predict rain?
By asking Thor, the thunder god.
Nah, there are two ways by which rain can be predicted. First case occurs just before the beginning of heavy rainfall. Here, lightning bolts split nitrogen and oxygen molecules, eventually producing ozone. Now, strong blowing winds carry ozone downward along with them. Ozone is a sharp-smelling gas. When a person smells this ozone, it helps him predict the rain. Now, the second case occurs when it is already raining somewhere nearby. Usually, surfaces of soil and leaves have aromatic particles of dust and oil on them. When raindrops hit these surfaces, tiny air bubbles containing these aromatic particles are created. Just like fizz rushes upwards in a soda bottle, these air bubbles rush upwards and burst out. Then, Gusts of wind carry them ahead of the rain, helping us smell the aromatic particles and predict rain. How are rainbows formed?
Using a bow and arrow. Ta-da!
No. We usually see rainbows when it rains with the sun behind us. Sunlight contains 7 different colors. When sunlight hits a raindrop, each color bends differently, bounces off the inner surface, and exits the drop at a different angle. Observe that here, violet is at the top with red at the bottom. But in a rainbow, the order is reversed, right? This happens because each color exits the droplet at a different angle. High up in the sky, every color except red exits at an angle above our line of sight. Hence, only red reaches our eyes. Whereas, a few degrees below, every color except violet exits at an angle below our line of sight. Hence, only violet reaches our eyes. Similarly, colors in between red and violet exit in such a way that below red, we see orange, then yellow, green, etc. Topic: rain. Why does rain smell?
Maybe it applies a special perfume.
Nah. Rain is just water, and water doesn't have any smell.
Yeah, dude. So what's that smell?
The distinctive smell which frequently accompanies the first rain after a dry weather is scientifically called petrichor. It basically comes from plants and bacteria called actinomycetes, which live in the soil. Now, during a long dry spell, the plants release oils into the soil to block other seeds from germinating, thus reducing competition for water. Whereas, the actinomycetes produce a chemical called geosmin. Now, when rain hits the ground, it brings up the oils and geosmin, which then mix with air. The combination of this geosmin along with the plant oils form the smell which we receive after the rain. What if Sahara Desert is covered with solar panels?
No! Let's cover it with pizzas and burgers!
Oh, listen. The Sahara Desert is around 9.2 million square kilometers in area. Based on this, it can be estimated that the total energy produced by the solar panels would be approximately 22 billion gigawatt hours per year. This would be thousands of times our current electricity requirement. Secondly, while generating electricity, fossil fuel power plants produce harmful gases and nuclear power plants produce radioactive waste. But solar panels produce electricity without causing harm to the environment. Now, let's have a look at some minor disadvantages. Firstly, sandstorms in the desert would regularly cover the solar panels with sand, thus reducing their efficiency. Secondly, in a place where water is so scarce, cleaning the panels would definitely be challenging. Lastly, the project would prove to be extremely costly, but looking at the advantages, the cost seems to be worth it. What if all cars were electric?
Why only cars? Even I look electric.
Some. There will be a number of advantages as electric cars are considered to be much more environmentally friendly. Firstly, air pollution would greatly reduce as it is estimated that road transportation is responsible for more than 50% of nitrogen oxides and carbon monoxide emissions. Secondly, our respiratory tract would be a much happier place as road transportation is responsible for more than 40% of particulate matter emissions. Thirdly, mortality rate will reduce as WHO estimates that outdoor air pollution is responsible for more than 4.2 million deaths yearly. There would be some relatively minor disadvantages though. Firstly, car ownership would get expensive as electric cars are expensive as compared to fossil fuel cars. Heavy reliance on rare earth elements as well as lithium and cobalt for battery production. Thus, we might face a different kind of environmental challenges. What if we drink too much coffee?
Too much of anything is bad. This is the new Sum mantra.
Wow, Sum. Coffee contains a drug called caffeine.
Overconsumption of caffeine will lead to the following problems. Firstly, it will lead to caffeine-induced anxiety disorder. Secondly, we will suffer from insomnia. That is, we will not be able to sleep. We might stare at the stars all night. Thirdly, potassium levels will go down, which will lead to heart palpitations or irregular heartbeat. Fourthly, caffeine being acidic, it might damage the lining of our digestive tract and further worsen existing stomach ulcers. Fifthly, caffeine can act as a diuretic, leading to excess urine production and thus dehydration. Sixthly, caffeine has great laxative properties, but too much consumption can also lead to diarrhea. Lastly, overconsumption of caffeine may lead to development of chronic liver diseases. What if we drink too much water?
Water is super cool. Drink as much as you wish.
Wrong, Gumsum. Drinking too much water is not the problem, but drinking too much water in a short span of time is. If we drink water beyond the processing capability of our kidneys, then they are not able to eliminate the excess water. As a result, water level increases in our blood and sodium level goes down. This condition is known as hyponatremia, or water intoxication. Sodium is an essential electrolyte which balances fluids inside and outside our cells. The imbalance caused by water level going up and sodium level going down causes the fluids outside our cells to move inside. As a result, our cells begin to swell. This swelling can cause multiple health problems. Also, if swelling takes place in our brain cells, then we can get headaches or nausea. This condition can also prove to be fatal. What if all glaciers melted?
Then I would go swimming to the North Pole.
Stop it, Sum. It is estimated that glaciers presently occupy about 10% of the world's landmass. Now, if all the glaciers were to suddenly melt, firstly, sea levels around the world would rise by more than 50 meters. So no more beach vacations. Secondly, more land will be covered by water. Hence, home and office prices will skyrocket. Thirdly, it would be cheaper as well as easier to drill oil near the poles. Oil companies would definitely rejoice. Fourthly, new shipping routes will open up. Stocks of cruise companies will definitely go up. Fifthly, old preserved fossils or lost civilizations might be uncovered. Museums might be a happy lot in this case. Lastly, as shown in movies, certain deadly hidden viruses might affect the health of worldwide population. What if all the mountains disappeared?
Some clones would take their places.
Nah. Earth's solid surface is made up of several tectonic plates. Mountains are formed when two tectonic plates smash into each other. Now, if mountains disappeared, then tectonic plates would also have disappeared. With the tectonic plates gone, hot mantle below would take its place, thus making it impossible for us to even walk. With no mountains, the lava present in them would flow and spread to the surrounding cities. Global ecosystem would also get disturbed as mountains possess a great variety of flora and fauna. As glaciers on mountains are a source of water for many rivers, no mountains means those rivers would dry out. Also, since mountains change the direction of winds and block rain clouds, there would be catastrophic changes in global weather patterns. Lastly, without mountains, we would not be able to paraglide, ski, or enjoy river rafting. What if we drink too much tea?
Nothing is too much for the great Sum.
Oh, Sum. Tea plants absorb high amounts of fluoride from soil. Hence, tea leaves are a major source of fluoride. Small amount of fluoride is good for our dental health, but high doses of fluoride can prove to be detrimental to our health. Excess tea consumption can lead to dehydration. Tea contains antioxidants called tannins. Tannins have a number of health benefits, but their high intake may cause iron deficiency in our body as they interfere in the body's ability to absorb iron. Tea is also a source of caffeine, whose overconsumption can lead to insomnia, low potassium levels, as well as caffeine-induced anxiety disorder. overconsumption of tea may worsen pre-existing medical conditions like anxiety or diarrhea. Finally, overconsumption of tea with artificial sugar will not be good news for your waistline. What if there were no clouds?
No problem. I have my magic carpet.
Some. Firstly, without any clouds, sunsets would no longer look spectacular. Secondly, without any clouds, there would be no way to redistribute fresh water from one place to another. Why? Because no clouds means no rains. Eventually, all the water present on Earth would evaporate and our Earth would begin to look like Mars, dry and barren. Thirdly, temperatures would suddenly rise during daytime and drop at night. Why? This is because clouds help regulate temperature. As clouds are generally white in color, they reflect a good amount of sunlight, thus helping keep our day temperatures down. But at the same time, at night, they don't allow all the heat reflected from Earth to escape, thus not allowing our nights to get too cold. What if we drink only seawater?
Nah, I only drink chocolate milkshake.
Some. On an average, seawater has salinity of about 3.5%. When we drink seawater, water as well as excess salt get absorbed in our blood. One of the functions of our kidneys is to remove this excess salt from our blood. But urine produced by kidneys has a salt concentration which is less than 3.5% of that of seawater. Hence, it needs more water to remove all the excess salt. As a result, we feel thirsty after drinking seawater. Excess seawater consumption can lead to dehydration. Secondly, excess drinking of seawater will also hinder the blood purifying process of our kidneys. How? Because solute concentration inside the filtering units of our kidneys will be lower than that of the highly saline blood. Hence, due to osmosis, blood doesn't get purified. What if we replace water by soft drinks?
Nah, we should replace salads by burgers and French fries.
Some. If we replace our 8 daily glasses of water with 8 soft drinks, then we would be in a big trouble. In a real-life incident, a woman drank soda instead of water for 16 years. She was hospitalized. She had irregular heartbeats and very low potassium levels. Artificial sweeteners in soft drinks can have laxative effects. Overconsumption of same can cause diarrhea. Many soft drinks contain caffeine. Overconsumption of caffeine can lead to loss of potassium via urine. Flow of potassium regulates our heartbeat. Low potassium levels may lead to heart palpitations or irregular heartbeats. Overconsumption of caffeine can also lead to insomnia. We might start staring more at stars instead of sleeping. Also, soft drinks are usually sugary drinks. Hence, this will also lead to weight gain or diabetes. What if all the nitrogen disappeared?
No worries. At least I have my burgers.
Forget it. Our atmosphere is 78% nitrogen. Together with oxygen and other gases, our atmosphere exerts a huge pressure on our bodies. While breathing, this atmospheric pressure helps squeeze out oxygen from our lungs into our blood. So, without nitrogen, atmospheric pressure would drop, thus reducing the amount of oxygen entering our blood. Also, air in our sinuses exerts an equal amount of pressure to balance the atmospheric pressure. However, low atmospheric pressure will create pressure differences, leading to headaches. Without nitrogen, number of free unstable oxygen radicals would drastically increase in our body, leading to damage of our DNA, thus increasing the risk of cancer. Lastly, nitrogen is an essential component of our DNA, RNA, and even chlorophyll, the pigment which helps plants prepare its food. So basically, without nitrogen, there would be no life on Earth. What if Earth started spinning backwards?
Then I'll eat my burrito backwards.
Listen. Backward spinning of the Earth is termed as a retrograde motion. Now, to understand the effects of this retrograde motion on Earth, scientists performed some simulations. In these simulations, the first noticeable change was that the direction of winds and ocean currents reversed, causing changes in climatic conditions. This resulted in a much greener Earth as the world's deserts shrank from 42 million square kilometers to 31 million square kilometers. Secondly, at present, rising level of carbon dioxide is contributing to global warming. But in the retrograde world, with more trees to absorb carbon dioxide, the global mean temperature dropped by about 0.2 degrees Celsius, thus considerably lowering the effects of global warming. Lastly, the rainfall pattern also changed. As a result, the Great Sahara Desert and the Arabian Desert got covered in trees and grasses, while never-seen-before deserts emerged in southern Brazil and Argentina.
Oh no!
What if we dump our trash into volcanoes?
That's a great idea, dude.
Oh, listen. Now, the only advantage here as compared to existing garbage incinerators would be conservation of fuel required for burning. However, there will be quite a number of disadvantages. Firstly, in order to burn the trash, we would have to locate a currently active volcano which also has a lava lake. Such volcanoes are quite rare. Secondly, transporting the garbage will cost time, money, and a whole lot of fuel. Thirdly, modern garbage incinerator plants are more efficient in controlling harmful emissions into the atmosphere as compared to volcanoes. Fourthly, although lava is extremely hot, it can't melt everything. Hence, the remaining trash would just float, and when the volcano would erupt, the trash would spread to surrounding areas, contaminating the soil. Fifthly, water and trash trapped in lava expands hundreds of times its original volume to form steam. This expanding steam, which puts extreme pressure on the lava, may burst out, thus creating mini explosions. Lastly, an active volcano can be unpredictable. Hence, if it erupts while one is dumping some garbage, the explosion will be fatal. What if all the seawater becomes freshwater?
Now, what if all the seawater becomes chocolate milkshake?
Oh, listen. First of all, the biggest advantage will be that it will solve the water crisis all over the world. However, there will be quite a number of disadvantages. Firstly, most of the fishes will die. Why? In freshwater, due to a process called osmosis, the cells of the fishes will swell up, thus eventually killing them. Secondly, experts believe that tiny organisms called zooplankton and phytoplankton, which are critical to the marine life food chain, will die off, leading to mass extinction of marine life. In addition to this, phytoplankton produce half of the world's oxygen via photosynthesis. Without them, there would be far less oxygen available for us to breathe. Lastly, experts believe that salt in the seawater has a major impact on ocean currents, which in turn influence our climate. However, as more research is required, experts don't exactly know what will happen if all the seawater becomes freshwater. What if we dig a hole through Earth and jump?
Then we would land on Pandora.
Oh, some. Firstly, the atmospheric pressure will crush us. Why? Because once we go about 40 miles down, atmospheric pressure increases by about 1,000 times than that at the sea level. Secondly, no fire suit will be able to help us as the temperature at the core of the Earth can reach about 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Thirdly, there's a very high probability that once we reach the other side of the Earth, we would fall back again because of gravity. Thus, we will keep on oscillating like a yo-yo. Lastly, even if we were lucky enough to survive the journey, there's a very good chance that instead of safely landing in a country, we would end up in the middle of an ocean. What if Pangea never broke apart?
Then I will break it using my Thor hammer.
Oh, some. Firstly, it would have been very bad for the diversity of life forms on Earth. Earth's history has shown that isolated geographic landmasses are very important for the evolution of new species. For example, isolated landmasses like Australia and Madagascar have many species which are not found anywhere else. Secondly, life would have thrived on the coastal areas, but the deep interiors would have become extremely hot and arid. These areas would have experienced almost desert-like conditions as clouds would have almost lost their moisture before reaching them. Thirdly, ocean transportation would have lost its luster as everybody would be connected by land. But on the flip side, beachgoers and surfers would have been one happy lot, as beaches would have stretched for thousands and thousands of miles. What if Earth was flat?
I don't like flats. I like bungalows.
Oh, some. Earth would not remain flat for a long time as gravity will make sure it again pops up into a sphere. Remember, gravity pulls equally from all sides, hence planets are spherical. Now, if Earth was flat and not a sphere, then it would obviously stop rotating. This will lead to the following problems. Firstly, only revolution around the sun but no rotation around its axis would mean that Earth will experience a 6-month-long day, followed by a 6-month-long night. Secondly, it is believed that rotation of Earth generates its magnetic field. Without rotation, there would be no magnetic field to protect us from the harmful solar winds. Also, it would mean an end to the world-famous lights called auroras, as they are formed due to the interaction between Earth's magnetic field and particles of solar wind. What if Earth's core cooled down?
Then I will heat it using my some superpower.
Oh, some. Earth's core temperature is about 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit. If it cooled down, then there would be no earthquakes or volcanoes. Why? No heat means all the active volcanoes would suddenly become extinct. Also, earthquakes occur when tectonic plates rub against each other. These plates move because of the intense heat coming from the core. Now, no heat from the core means no movement of tectonic plates, thus no earthquakes. Scientists believe that Earth's heated core plays an important role in the creation of its magnetic field. With no magnetic field, the following things will occur. Our atmosphere will slowly but surely disappear as there will be no protection from harmful solar winds. Also, migratory birds would have a very hard time finding their destination. What if we lived on Mars?
Then I will keep on jumping all day long.
What? Oh, some. Due to extremely low atmospheric pressure on Mars, we will need to live inside buildings with pressure vessels and walk around with pressure suits. No need to lose our weight anymore. Gravity on Mars is 38% lower than that on Earth. Mars is extremely cold as compared to Earth, so get used to seeing ice everywhere. With extreme water scarcity on Mars, say bye-bye to those long leisurely baths. Get used to those huge dust storms you see in movies. They will be a living reality in Mars. Sunscreen makers will be one happy lot as the extremely thin atmosphere on Mars does not absorb much ultraviolet sunlight. With no more rain and virtually no clouds on Mars, it's time to forget about those beautiful rainbows and sunsets. What if an asteroid hit Earth?
No ways! I will protect Earth using my some shield.
Wow, some. An asteroid is a small rocky body orbiting the Sun. Millions of asteroids lie in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The asteroid which hit Earth almost 65 million years ago is considered to be the sole reason behind the extinction of dinosaurs. The force with which an asteroid hits the Earth is not the only problem. The dust and smoke which arise in the atmosphere after the impact block the sunlight, resulting in the lowering of overall temperature and eventually leading to the death of a number of species. If an apartment-sized asteroid were to hit Earth, then it would probably wipe out a small city. If a 20-storied building-sized asteroid were to hit Earth, then it might completely flatten a small country.